Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everybody doing today? Great Monday afternoon, 12 noon plus 3 minutes. Sorry I'm late. Uh, little technical difficulty starting out, of course. Hopefully I'm on. That showing me on. Going on here. There we go. There we go. It was Monday. How's everybody's weekend? Hope it was fantastic. Hope you had a great weekend. Rained all day here yesterday. Not too good. Not too good. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far. Have company here, have my granddaughter, have my daughter. They might come back in noisy, but we'll deal with it. A lot of things going on, a lot of things going on in the country, and we just don't know what to do. We just don't want to do. Watching a lot of things, a lot of people hollering democracy, democracy. Well, why do we want democracy? It's not in the preamble, not in the Bill of Rights, not in the Constitution. Why do they holler, we need democracy? We're a constitutional republic here in the United States. Constitutional republic is not democracy. Watching Tucker, he said democracy quite a few times. It hurts our democracy. It hurts this democracy, that democracy. Everybody saying it over and over and over. What does it get us? What does it get us? Do we actually know what we're getting? How we're getting it? Nope, we don't. We don't. Not at all. We don't get it whatsoever. Democracy is 51 out of 100. It's mob rule. Whatever they say goes. Whatever the ruling class is, it goes. We don't even need parties. The parties are both corrupt as all get out. They're both one just as bad as the other, and they're pointing fingers at each other saying, you did this, and you did that, and you did this, and you did that. And they're all wrong. They don't use any common sense whatsoever. Democracy is mob rule. Whatever the majority says, that's what goes. No matter what. Do we want that? Do we need that? Do we need other people telling us what to do? The majority of the people, with one opinion, they win. I don't think that's what we want. That's why our forefathers sat down and they came up with the plan of constitutional republic, run by the Constitution. Republic means it's representative. We vote for our representatives to represent us, to do what we ask, to do what we tell them to do. But through democracy, we've gotten away from that because most people don't want to listen to what we say. When they get there, they don't want to listen to us. They want to listen to those lobbyists that give them millions of dollars. They go in as dirt poor bartenders and come out rich millionaires after a couple of years. How can you make that much at a 3-figure or 6-figure income? Low 6-figure. I think it was 120,000. I don't know what it is now, but how can they go with that and come out a millionaire within a couple of years? And they all do. They all do. They comfortably retire. How do they do that? Payoffs, graft. grift, whatever. And let me tell you, it's grifting because it's a con, it's a scam. They're scamming us, the American people, scamming us big time. We don't want democracy. Democracy in Rome put millions of Christians to death, from gladiators killing them, to lions killing them, beat them to the lions. That was a democracy. Greece was a democracy. They all fell because why? Democracy just a mob ruled uh, dictatorship. Whatever they say goes. The elite, the most important people that think they're the most important people. They rule everything with democracy. And we don't want that. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. It just letting the ruling class win. Democracy is a word that sounds good, but it's truly evil. Truly evil. Get up and bite you in a heartbeat. I mean, we don't need it, period. As long as we follow the Constitution and what it says, it's the perfect guideline. Perfect guideline. Make sure we have fair elections. Make sure the elections are watched. Make sure they're done by law and not illegally behind closed doors and doors locked and windows blocked out where you can't see in. Needs to be transparent so we can see it. We need to get our lawmakers to realize that this is what we need to make it even across the board on laws for elections across the country, so they're fair and even and right. But there's so many loopholes that they can get away with anything now. Mail-in ballots coming in by the bucket loads, bulk mailing of ballots. That's crazy. That's crazy. There should be no only mail-in ballots should be people that can't make it to the polls, and then they'd have to ask for it in advance, in person or by mail or whatever, to let them know that they need a ballot for a good reason. Military in other countries, our military, they had to use mail-in, but all others are ludicrous. If you can't make it to the polls, then send it in writing that you need a ballot. But if you can make it to the polls, go. And we don't need no year-long voting. We don't need for people to have tons and tons and tons of time. And that puts a monkey wrench in it, because you got all kinds of times to do something with those ballots, to dispose of them, to go through them, or what have you. Who knows what they do? Hi, Lynn, how you doing? Who knows what they do before they get those votes up to actual count? They could even dispose of them. We never know it. All kinds of things could come wrong on it. But we need to simplify it where any wrongdoing will be stopped. I'm doing great. A little stuffed up, but I'll make it. Democracy is a misnomer. It's a word they put in there to make it look, like it was fair, but it's really a wolf in sheep clothing. We have to beware. People start talking democracy. They want, as we said, mob rule. Whatever you get with mob rule is what the mob wants. Everything. No, we want, as a people, we want our representatives to vote for what we want and to do it like they're supposed to do it. Otherwise, we're lost. I'm Malcolm and Tanya. Hi there, Slim. Charlene, if you're listening, if not, tell her hello. But it just burns me up every time I hear somebody, we got to save our democracy. We got to save our democracy. Well, we don't have a democracy. Plain and simple. Forget democracy. We vote. We tell them what to do. They're supposed to do it. That's the way it's supposed to be done. No ifs, ands, or buts. The only democratic process is to vote, period. And it's not democracy, get not to vote. Making the laws where there can't be any cheating, where they're all fair and even. And that's where we got to go with it. So next time somebody says to you, we got to save our democracy, tell them, no, we don't need to save our democracy. We need to save our country. We need to save our Constitution, our laws we live by as a country. That's why we're different, because we're not a democracy. We're not like Canada. We're not like England. We're not like Australia. We're not like France or any other country that uses democracy. It's because we don't use it that we're different. As long as they leave democracy out of it, it'll work. But the minute you try to make it a democracy, it goes poof, runs amok. It's not too bad here in Florida. It was yesterday what rained, but the high was 89 and the low was 76 last night. So it was pretty comfortable, a little wet, but not too bad here in the summer because we have the Gulf and we have the Atlantic, and it causes a breeze between, and the rain, when the two breezes come together, it causes rain or storms, and it cools things off usually in the evening time. But the rest of the country is really sweltering. Talked to a guy in California last night. It was 114 degrees, and he has a metal frame house, and that metal is like sitting in an oven, and his air conditioner won't keep up, and it's not insulated good. He was trying to find alternatives. Hi, Wendy. It was on Wendy's channel. If y'all haven't watched Wendy, go to Wendy B of Australia, Arizona. I was talking about Australia. That's why it stuck in my head. We don't even need a democratic process, really. All we need is go by the Constitution. That is a process of its own. We just have to make sure that everything is run by the Constitution and forget the democracy, because, like I say, that brings in all kinds of loopholes and things. We really need to be sticklers to using the Constitution, because nowhere in like I said, the preamble, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution itself does not even contain the word democracy. And until we get rid of that, period, they're going to try to bring it to a democratic process, like I said, and that's all wrong because that's mob rule, period, plain and simple. Anything over half is, a majority. And no matter what they put up, no matter what it is, we have democratic democracy rules. They can bring up anything, and as long as the majority votes for it, it's democratic. Make purging legal, murder legal, killing Christians legal, shutting down churches legal. As long as over half wants it, they get it. That's democracy. Is that what we want? We want to vote anything in we please? No kind of guidelines, nothing, they want to do away with the Constitution, so we won't have a constitutional republic because the Constitution will be gone. It'll be null and void. It'll be whatever they want goes. And that's what they're aiming for. That's what they're aiming for. Hey, Chaplain, how you doing? Uh-oh. Yeah, hot in Rome, and it's hot all over. I think they are messing with our weather, trying to see what they can do with it. And they're really making a mess. As with everything they try to change everything. The government wants to stick their fingers in everything and change everything. I think they have a better idea than God. Well, hate to tell them, but they don't. They can't. They won't. It'll never happen. Never happen. You don't fool around with stuff like that. And we're always trying to change something. That's another problem. Always trying to change something, thinking that they could do it better. A lot of things, most things are best left alone. There are some good things, that they've done, accomplished, like cleaning up behind ourselves and cleaning up our mess. That's good. It's good. We should take care of stuff like that. But as far as trying to change how something is operating or as far as nature, leave it alone. You don't know what you're going to cause. We hear of HAARP and all these programs that they're running behind the scenes. Who knows what will happen with this magnetic forces and everything if they start changing things around and using technology to try to change the weather and earthquakes and you name it. Who knows what will happen? It's really scary when you think about it. Wrong move, they could start off a domino effect that won't stop. If it does that, how are they going to stop it? I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Speaking of rain in Florida, it's thundering outside. I hear that, Chaplain. I haven't got to see it yet. Can't sit around that long sitting up. So I have to wait until after I heal up or pay for it online. Was your theater air conditioned? By the way, if you have a website, have a YouTube channel, put it up there so people can visit you. Everybody, most of you on here can put your link up, put it up there where everybody can visit your site. A lot of good sites out there. And another thing, the press, the media, putting the stories up there that they know doesn't mean a hill of beans, doesn't mean anything. And they do that for a reason. They do that to cover up the real truth because they could care less, They could care less what happens in Ukraine and Russia. They could care less about that. I mean, why are we behind either side? Either side. I don't understand. A lot of things going on. They just put it out there because it buries another story. The cocaine in the White House. If that had been any one of us in our house, we'd have been in jail. We'd have been in jail. They bring this stuff up, they put it out there, and things you got to look out for is the things that get you taken off of YouTube, get you taken off of social media. That's the stories you got to look out for. The ones that they try to hush and quiet down. I mean, how many of these senators and representatives do you think actually care anything about transsexuals? I only saw one and it was a Midwestern state, and she was saying she loved transsexuals. Transgenders, I love transgenders, and she screamed. That's the only one I've seen that actually stood up and said anything about it. But they could care less. As long as we got our eyes on that, we have our eyes off of them. As long as they talk against it or for it, keep the people satisfied, and it's stay off of them. And we have to watch what the news is feeding us, because they can feed us anything. We don't know what goes on in other countries. We don't know what actually goes on in Russia. We don't know whether Russia is still communist or whether they're capitalist or what they are. We don't know whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, period. When they dissolved the KGB and all that, they supposedly went capitalist. And from videos of patriotic things in Russia and people meeting Vladimir, they all seem pretty happy and crying to meet him. So they must care for the guy. I know George Bush said that he had dark, soulless eyes, but what does George Bush have? I mean, in my opinion, he's much worse than Vladimir because he tries to hide it, makes it look like he's somebody he's not. And we all know now that he's probably more communistic than Vladimir. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that Vladimir's good. I'm saying that we're not hearing it. We're not hearing it right. To hear it said, President of Ukraine's a saint, but he's a bigger crook than anybody out there. Anybody out there. We know that the mainstream media is in the government's pocket. We all know when the government gets done with them, they'll just throw them to the side, feed them to the wolves. And all these other groups that are manifesting themselves and sticking their head up and saying, we want it this way, we want it that way. Where did the money come to fund the BLM? The summer that they burnt down cities and everything. We ever heard anything about that? Did a report on that? No. When are we going to learn that they're not our friends? That they're enemy number one, as Trump tried to tell everybody. Fake media is enemy number one. And our three-letter dark force agencies that try to run us. Yeah, at the border. Exactly. Our border is another mess. We get somewhat of a good picture by our people down there videoing, watching the people coming in and counting people and letting us know what's going on. But we don't know the whole story, about how and why and how they're getting told that they can come and getting the information down there, that when's the right time and all the details, and so much going on. And they're playing games with us, giving us false information, false stories, keeping us sidetracked, so we don't know what's going on. And that's the way they do it, keep us dazed and confused. They're doing a darn good job of it, telling the stories the way they tell it. We swallow it hook, line, and sinker. Not everybody don't watch. There's a lot of people that still do watch, and they still do listen to what they say. It's sad to think that they do, but they do. And until we get everybody educated, let them know what's going on and prove to them what's going on, and we can prove it. We just have to get out there and do it. And it's really, really thundering here. Come up a storm, and I just sent my granddaughter and my daughter to the store, so hopefully they get back before it hits real good. That's why I keep looking. Bad timing. So much is going on, and we just don't see it. Or if we see it, we just push it to the side and don't think about it, and think, oh, this is crazy, this can't happen. But yes, it is happening. It's happening big time. Happening everywhere. It's like the movie talking about the sex slavery and what they're doing with our children. This is actually happening under our noses, right in front of our faces. And we're just now hearing about it. They're getting the story out. All this stuff been going on for years, right in front of us, and we just don't see it. And they're good at covering it up, but we know these things are happening. We just fall asleep on duty. We don't say anything. We don't do anything. We're afraid we'll get in trouble. We're afraid we'll get banned from this. All kinds of reasons. Not good reasons, but all kinds of reasons. This is what we got to do as a movement, as a group, band together, educate, watch, and try to keep things like this from happening. Like trying to destroy our currency. One world order. Everything one, you know. They're marching hard for it, pushing hard, giving it everything they got. And we know how bad it'll be, but we just hope and pray it don't. It's all we do is just think, oh, they won't let it happen. Yes, they'll let it happen. Hey, Midwest, how you doing? Good afternoon. I just can't understand why people aren't reacting to all this, and especially the ones that know. Why are we sitting back and doing nothing? Why are the numbers online going down when it comes to freedom? And everything else is going up, up, up. The garbage that's out there is going up, up, up. We don't care. We could care less. Let me tell you, the devil is powerful, and he'll use everything in his power to keep us blind and dumb and get his work done. Getting it done. And we just don't seem to care. Our churches are gone haywire. Our government's gone haywire. Everything just gone plumb haywire. And yet we sit quietly behind and let it happen. It just burns me up. Exactly, Wendy. They try everything to keep us from finding out what's going on. They've made it back. We have to be the watchmen. We have to be the town criers. We have to let people know this is what's happening. Wake up, wake up, understand. We don't want their money system where we have to get credit and they can turn off our income in a heartbeat. Do we really want that? Do we really need that? Yes, they've been grooming us for years with credit cards, debit cards. They've been grooming us for this, slow but sure, to depend on other means besides currency. Hey, Nabi, how you doing? Good evening. Can y'all hear that thunder when it pops up on here? Really going crazy out there. We have to pay attention. And we have to let people know this is what's going on. And we need to gather evidence. We need to gather the facts. Because even what they do see, they don't believe it. They can't believe it's happening. And they foo-foo it. Say, you're nuts. You know, you're crazy. But are we crazy? I don't think so. There's so much we could do if we just do it. If we just do it. I'm not going to stay on here too long with this going on because my 9 times out of 10, my internet will go out anyway. But just think about it. Think about it. Do we want to be told what to do? Do we want to accept what the news is telling us what's going on? Do we want a democracy that's really a dictatorship? They're using democracy against us to tell us what to do and how to do it. Or do we want to live by the Constitution, the way it's written? What say you? I'm telling everybody to get out there and talk to everybody and educate, learn, investigate, research, and help spread the word, of what's going on. Ron Matson. Okay. But let's not stand idle by and do nothing. Call your representatives. Let them know what you want. If there's a particular thing you want, let them know. Keep pounding them every day. Get out and vote like we're supposed to. And do everything that we're supposed to be doing to keep this country on an even keel. Hopefully we can save the sinking ship. A lot of water has gone under that bridge. It's going to be a hard fight to get things straightened up. I think we still can do it if we quickly band together and try to straighten things out. I mean, it's a big task. It is a big task. Big task we're up against. Well, anyway, I'm going to jump off of here because sometimes long isn't as good as short. Short, maybe people watch it and watch all of it. Until next time, I love you guys. Spread the word. Like, share, subscribe, share it out. Let's get it. Let's get the word out. And let's get her done. Until Wednesday, y'all have a good one. Bye now.